Hey everybody, and welcome to the bait shop. We're gonna get right into it because things are a little bit different with the video today. A little while ago, I filmed a video where I made some really cool baits with 5 of the new 8-bit baits Micashift Powders. And when I went to edit it, it was my first time using these wonderful microphones, and it was crackly and it was poppy, and I've got it all figured out now. But almost all that footage is pretty rough. So I decided we're gonna do a voiceover. I'm gonna sit down, we're gonna watch the video together. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, kind of what my thought process was. And then the section at the end where I actually demold the baits, the audio was fine for that. So that's gonna be there with me in the moment demolding the baits. But we're gonna watch the first part here together and go through it. And then, yeah, the baits are great. The powder is amazing. It'll all be linked below, so make sure if you are a bait maker that you get your hands on some. I'm gonna start by going in with a 1/16 of a teaspoon of the Micashift. Getting it mixed in really well. That was our base recipe for every cup, was a 1/16 of a teaspoon of the Micashift powder. And we would mix that really well to get a good idea of the base color, what the Micashift does, how the color transitions before we decided on a pigment or a flake. Going into this video, I didn't really have any plan outside of mix up the color and then decide what do we add to it. Really looking to see what each powder offered, what some of the highlights were, what were the color transitions that we were seeing, and then also to just experiment and have fun. My mindset for this one in particular was, it's called Atomic Craw. It's got a lot of deep golds, rose gold, bronze color in it. And that what I wanted to do was to stick on the atomic theme and go with some, nuclear, atomic, radioactive colors like this chartreuse holographic flake. And you see I started to do a 1/4 of a teaspoon and I decided, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start with an 1/8 and see where it goes, because you can always add more. You can see I'm not quite happy with how much flake I'm seeing, so we go ahead and bump that up to a 1/4. Get it mixed in, and this flake looks really cool in the plastic. Like you see, you get so many different tones. I was really pleased with that, but I also don't want to add more. We don't want to overdo it with one flake, especially when we want to add others. I considered adding this holographic gold, and I decided against it. And I think that we end up going with a holographic orange to stick with that like bright radioactive nuclear type theme. And we might do some radioactive or some holographic black, but the orange we're adding here is an 040, and we did an 040 holographic chartreuse there at the beginning. Looks like we went in with an 1/8 of a teaspoon. Yeah, look at that. It looks great. Watching my hands. What I'm discussing here is adding dimension to the bait. That's kind of what flake does. And black flake especially helps pull some dimension into the soft plastic and some contrast, especially when you're adding other flake colors. We have 2 very bright flake colors. By adding the black, it helps bring some dimension to the bait, and it helps those other flakes pop. They aren't gonna be quite as bland in the bait or in the plastic because the black is gonna draw attention to them. And I do believe that we went with just a plain 035 square black flake, if I'm remembering right. Yeah. And look at it, it just kind of pops, and then it draws your eyes to the other flakes. drawing it up in our injector. It's hot for the shoot. We are shooting this in our imitators. You can see the color shift on that is just gorgeous. Even like just there on top of the molds. I'm looking forward to pouring some like gold shiner swim baits with this. It's gonna be pretty sweet. All right, swamp craw. I'm trying to remember which one was my favorite. Swamp craw might be up there. But we are gonna, same thing, 1/16 of a teaspoon. We're gonna get it mixed in, get a good look at the color. It's a beautiful color. Very like rust colored with some really cool color shifts along that red to yellow spectrum. I don't know what I'm reaching up there for. And right now I'm looking at it and I'm just brainstorming, what do I put in this? It's a beautiful color. It's got like that peachy undertone. Okay, so we go in with, let's count them. One drop of black. A single drop of black does a lot for color shift powders, for highlight powders to bring depth out, to deepen the color, and that just makes the color transition all that more bold. And you can see just the swirls in the cup there, how much more pronounced they are. And it's gonna make that color transition just a little bit, pop a little bit more. And let's see what color we put in here. All right, we've got some fire red holographic flake, and then we have this like bronze holographic. I think we go with the bronze, if I'm remembering right. We might go with both. It's been a couple weeks since as I'm doing this voiceover, been a couple weeks since I actually shot these. All right, yeah, we've got the red open. So I'm assuming we're doing the red and we're gonna do the bronze too, I believe. Because don't those just look so good next to each other? It's like a coppery bronze flake with all these like chartreuse and rainbow holographic highlights. All right, we did a 1/8 of a teaspoon of the red, and I believe that's an 040 flake. Yeah, I was just looking at the shelf behind me. That is an 040 flake. I don't think that I have that currently in the 025. We are bumping that up to a 1/4. I do have it in the 025, but based on the levels, fairly positive we did that in a 040. And then we have, okay, and it looks like we are gonna go in with 025 of the, that bronzy one. I'm sitting there stirring it, looking at it, debating, do I do this? Do I not do this? Looking at the shelf behind me, what else do I have? Nope, I grabbed the 040. So we are going in with a 1/16, it looks like, of 040. This is gonna be Fire from Dead on Plastics. Which I think I called the red one Fire. What is the red one? I don't know what the red one is. That is Fire. We did a 1/16 of 040, it looks like. Okay, I have that. Actually, that might be 025. I have that flake right here. Let's take a look. Let's see. That is 025. We did go in with a 1/16 of a teaspoon of 025. All right, now we are looking at Who's Your Crawdaddy. This was one of my favorites for sure. I love the levels of color in this this particular Micashift. You have that deep like burgundy or rose beneath the surface, and you have that blue pale shimmer across the top. It's so cool. It reminds me almost of, this is sound weird, but it reminds me of like corrosion on a car battery contact, like that top color. But look at that. Oh my gosh. That's one of my favorites. So we have got some blue here. And this flake, I don't remember what this flake is called. It looks like we went in with an 8 of 040. Check that out. Even adding that blue flake, how much more blue color it pulled in that Micashift powder is insane. I think that if I had gone red, it would have pulled more of that burgundy out and it would have dampened the blues. And I would actually like to try that. I think this would be a killer shrimp color. And then here we're doing an 025 holographic black flake. This is called Meteor. And the holographic nature is harder to see. It looks like we went in with a full 8. It's harder to see, but it is got this gorgeous color change across it. Here it is right here. I'm looking at it and it's just got this rainbow color change that looks amazing. All right, moving on, Dirty Delta. Same thing, 1/16 of the powder, going into the hot plastic, mix it up really well. I'm not scraping off my 1/16, and you might see it mounds on one side, and that's more, I usually try to do that if one side of the spoon was a little bit light on powder. Trying to get as close to a 1/16 without weighing it or scraping it or tamping it as I could. This was one of my other favorites. Out of the bunch, I think this one and Who's Your Crawdaddy were my favorite. Lots of pinks, again, like a deep rust color in the background, like a cool red color, and then that pink going, or purple lavender color going across the top. Super cool. Moving on to Sunset Slaw. I did not show the flake going into that one because it took me so long to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Now on this one, again, 1/16. Going in. Come here, Betty. Got the puppy out here with me. Guess she's not quite a puppy anymore. Mixing it up. I knew pretty immediately upon doing this one what I wanted to put in it. The color to me just screamed that it needed this flake. So that's what we're gonna do. Mixing, we're getting ready to add our flake here. Going in with the green. We did green, this would be Emerald City 040. And then if I'm remembering right, let's see what else we do. Okay, we went in with again, so they were bumping it to a full quarter of Emerald City 040. Check that out. Then going in again with the Meteor in 025, I believe. I'm grabbing one more thing off the shelf. If I remember right, it's the 025 Emerald City. I think that we went in and added more green flake in a smaller size to give it just a little bit more dimension, a little bit more body. Changing the variety and the size of the flake makes it look less flat, if that makes sense. Yep. There's the 025 going in. And that looks so good. I'm gonna hand it off to me. And there it is. Got an air bubble there, that's my fault. Let's take a look at this. All right. Nice and translucent. You can kind of see the light around the edges of the body there. There's my air bubble. You see that? There we go. That color shift, you've got some greens in there. And there we go. I'm loving that color shift. You can see it shift across there. We definitely have some red, some oranges, a very fire color there. That swamp craw. That's what it was, right? Swamp craw? Swamp craw, yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's going in the water. This might be my favorite of the night. We have a little bit left. I would love to run some shrimp in this. I think this is a fantastic shrimp color. I love it in the craws as well. And maybe even drop, I don't know, I'd say drop some black in it, or like a blue pigment, like a phthalo blue or something. But check that out. I love that. We did that in our punch bug. And check how that turned out. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And of course we did 2 rounds of it, so we've got 8 of those beautiful shrimp boys. Yes, that was the correct choice. With that green, we did green 040, 025, and then a holographic black 025 as well. I really like that as well. I've liked all of these. I've been really pleased with the potency of the powders and the colors. I see myself using all of these powders going forward. I think that there's a couple here that are just going to become regular colors, even with the flakes that we've done in them. More of those lizards. All right, let's get some water shots of these so you can really see that highlight powder show off in the water.